Welcome to this week's edition of the program Half Hour of Hope, a program that x-rays the activities of the wife of Abia State Governor in specific areas. On the program, wife of the State Governor flags off the 2019 Abia Women August Delegates Conference. We shall x-ray the perspective of our survival, plus tidbits from the office of the First Lady and voices of women on the essence of the August Women's Conference. Stay tuned for details as produced by the media team. I am Chinezerem Abakuru presenting.
News updates.
Recently, the wife of the Abia State Governor, Dignes Nkechi Bazu, flagged off the Abia Women August Delegates Conference Awadek with the theme Balance for a Better Abia at the International Conference Center, Umuahia. Her Excellency's rebrand of the popular August meeting, Awadek, has run for 5 years consecutively since 2015.
I introduced it 5 years ago and called it Awadek, meaning Abia Women August Delegates Conference.
The essence of the program is to create a paradigm shift that facilitates the empowerment of Abia women economically, socially, and psychologically.
From our local areas, they empower women economically, socially, physically, and all that. And then can I give la Umuahia? For us to start it in Abia State. Everybody line after la heavy line airport. And then they at the election side of local areas.
Delivering his speech at the event, the governor, Dr. Okezie Bazu, who has always supported the women, appreciated them for displaying credibility with the credit scheme, which has empowered many women.
In 2017, this government gave the seed money of just 10 million naira. And today I'm happy that through microcredit schemes of women organized in various groups, the local government, that 10 million naira, it may not increase because who had 33 in a group which are at 45. Meaning that the money the 33 youth are really enough to serve not only the 33 but additional 5 or 6 persons. I feel so encouraged and I will further support the women microcredit scheme in various local governments. Meanwhile, it is interest-free. The challenge for you is just to return that money to.
While eulogizing the women for their sacrificial roles as keepers of homes, the governor also encouraged them to chart a clear spiritual course for their children, introduce them to God early, and work hard as pillars of their homes.
Do not at the center of a successful family. And take up this role, spiritual, the economic, and social role of pillars in our respective homes. God will sustain you and give you strength.
The distinguished guest at the event and Speaker, Abia House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Engineer Chinedum Oji, represented by Honorable Stanley Wabisi, member representing Iguano State Constituency, appreciated the wife of the governor for her efforts so far.
I have learned that the August conference put together by the wife of the governor, Her Excellency Deaconess Nkechi Bazu, is the apex August meeting, and it is used to set the agenda for the rest of the August meetings to be held in other parts of the state. There exists a nexus between August meetings and the gender-driven social development that occur in our communities. Schools, marketplaces, and health centers have sprung up out of the efforts of our women. Rural rehabilitations, dwelling places, and community-owned businesses have emerged through the instrumentality of our dedicated women folk. Therefore, it will be imprudent for anyone to presume that August meetings are not incubators for social growth.
Showcase. On the Showcase segment today, we have a guest who will speak to us shortly. But first, I shall ask her to introduce herself.
My name is Josephine Ifoma Osondo, a founder of Ify Jones Foundation.
Josephine, it's good to have you on the program today.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We're treating the topic that says Sickle Cell Disease, the perspective of a survivor. Now, who is a survivor?
A survivor is someone with sickle cell anemia who is able to live with the challenges that surround sickle cell anemia.
What challenges confront a survivor?
Okay, the challenges that confront a survivor is the health challenges like having crisis, blood issues, different challenges, and then the stigma. Outside the fact of having health issues, of going to the hospital often and on, being sick, not being able to carry out some of the activities that you're supposed to carry out, most is the stigma from people, place of work, friends, relationships, environments. When I'm talking about stigma, I talk about the stigma of maybe when you see people of sickle cell anemia, you look at them like people that are dying, people that can survive. Sometimes when they want to flow with you, they'll be like, this person is sick. What's we going to be doing with this person? You talk of work, you want to apply for a job, and this person is a sickler. The next thing they'll be like, this person is a sickler, he can't work. It's a stigma. And again, in relationship, you come to a relationship and someone, like, you tell someone, oh, my genotype is SS. The next thing the person starts feeling somehow. You understand? It's a stigma. And then stigma with friends. Some friends sees you like you're not supposed to be with them, you're not their type because of the fact you're sick. And also how the public sees you when sickle cell anemia is talked about and everybody's like, sickle, that one, those ones, and everybody see you like, this person is going to die, this person wouldn't survive, those kind of things. It's more of the challenges people of sickle cell anemia go through.
How can a survivor, when we talk about survival here, like you explained, you're talking about a sickle cell patient who's been able to fight his or her way through and is handling the challenges boldly and efficiently and is still alive today.
Yes.
In fact, these are people we should give kudos to.
Exactly.
Honestly. So how can a survivor handle these challenges?
We have medications we take to keep fit, to be healthy. Survivor should be on his or her meds. Survivor should be able to believe in his or herself. That should be the number one thing.
Okay.
Believe in yourself that you're actually going to make it in life. And then you avoid the don'ts. Those things you know that can make you always sick, finding yourself in the hospital, you avoid them as a sickler. Then you try your possible best to live your life like a normal person. Don't always let emotions weigh you down and make you feel like this life, yes, is a challenge. It's not an easy thing. But then when you believe in yourself and work towards being healthy, believing that you can be healthy and you can survive, you will definitely do. As a sickler, you always have anemia, shortage of blood. You eat on things that can help you build your blood. Like I can say about myself, I walk around healthy and fine. I'm working. I have a job I'm doing. I go to work in the morning and I go home in the evening. In my office, most of my colleagues don't even know I'm a sickler.
Really?
Yes. They get to know I'm one when I started my foundation, and I was more like, I am a sickler and I want to encourage people who are born with it to believe the fact that they can always survive and they can also do what they want to do. And, everybody was like surprised. Are you serious? Are you serious? Because I am able to manage it very well. I was able to manage my challenges. I have gone through a lot of challenges in my early age as I was growing. So at this my age, I've learned to control all the things surrounding it. And I'm able to live with it. And I'm able to accept the fact, this is me. And you find it that on rare cases, you find out that this person is sick. She's in the hospital. She's admitted or she's this, because I've learned things I can do and things I cannot do to survive. So I live around it and I move with it. And that makes me a survivor. Makes me a strong woman who I am. And that makes me the warrior that I am. So what I would say is anyone out there that is also a secular should believe that you can do everything you want to do. You can be anything you want to do. Yes. You can live healthy. As you can see, I am living very healthy. It's rare for you to just sit on your own and just say this person is SS. But it doesn't mean I don't have the challenge or the emotions of the fact that this person is. I was born that way. I have it. Everything surrounding it, I go through it. In as much as I don't usually have crisis, or I don't have crisis like I do before. I could stay like a whole year sometimes without having crisis.
That's awesome.
I could stay like my last crisis should be more than 10 years ago. Yes.
Interesting.
The only challenge I go through is the shortage of blood. My shortage of blood, most of the times my blood goes so low, and then I have to walk, especially after my monthly flow. So I have to walk very hard, eating, taking drugs that will help me build it fast before the next flow. And the reason is because I worked on myself. I worked very hard on myself to be like that. I believed in myself that I was going to live without having such challenges. And yes, today I'm living that life. Can seculars live without having crisis? Yes, if you manage yourself very well.
How do you handle the emotional and psychological aspect of it? In other words, the stigma.
Okay. I was saying to people that learn how to wear your clothes to protect yourself. I've worn that clothes. I have gone through the stigma very well, and I've worn the clothes to accept the fact that before you even come, I've already protected myself from it. Unlike before, when I was always sick, always in the hospital, I've always had emotions of like, why is this girl alive? She should die once and let us forget about the matter. Because I had serious issues during my growing up days, leg ulcer, crisis all the time, even the fact that my eyes keep giving me issues, which is part of sickle cell anemia challenge. My eyes keep giving me issues that, like, as I am under this rays now, I can't stay under the rays. I've blindfolded myself for me to be here. You understand? I've gone through that. I've gone through the fact that I went to the hospital and they were like, your heart is enlarged. The blood is not flowing into the heart, and so it's enlarged. And the whole thing's protecting the heart has gone off, and your ribs has expanded. And I think that was my last. And I was just like, I am tired. Let's just go. You understand? That was my mind then. I was like, I am tired. Let me just go and rest. At the age of 14, I think I had partial stroke as a sickler. Yeah, I did. I had partial stroke as a sickler, and I had that sore. I think the sore I had, leg ulcer I had was like when I was 17, 18 years. I had it that lasted for like years. And then finally it's healed and never came back again. After a lot of medication taking me to places. And also, when that of the heart came, I had something, if you can look at my neck, you'll see some marks on my neck.
Yeah.
There's something they call lymph nodes coming out from my blood, coming out all over my body. And then they said the heart is enlarged. And it has expanded your ribs, and the things protecting it is off. And I was just like, what am I living again? I'm tired. I couldn't even go home to tell my parents. They said my heart is enlarged. Because their mind is going to blow. I asked the doctor, what's this? The doctor was like, your heart's been enlarged. Your life is at risk. It means the blood is not flowing into the heart and it's enlarged. It's overstressing itself to get blood. And I was like, I'm tired. I think I have to give up on this. In short, I want, if I sleep, let me not wake up. I was tired of it, But one thing inside me, the Christian I am, inside me told me, why are you giving up so soon? Every night I cry. At a certain time, I was like, I want to be prayed for. And yes, my pastor had to help me go. Even when I was there, to me, what I wanted was death. I have to be sincere. Yes, that was what I wanted then because I was tired. But then I just told myself, someone was so concerned that had to bring me here. Whatever is that person's concern, God do it. As for me, I already was wishing myself death. You understand? Let me just die. I'm tired. You wouldn't play with somebody. You want to play with someone and the person will be like, go before you die. And you be at home, your siblings, have a different kind of lifestyle they live, and you have your own different kind of life you live. You want to eat food, you have a specific food, they'll be like, oh yeah, eat this one, you need to eat this. Your life is just so different.
Regimented.
Yeah, you just be like, what kind of life is this? You can't be free to yourself, you can't do what you want to do, you can't be happy for yourself. But then they said, God, the person that sent me here, which was actually my pastor, he was so concerned when he met me. He tried his possible best to make sure I survive. So I give a credit to him for meeting him. Meeting him was one of the best things that happens to me. He was so concerned, and he fought, even had to get accommodation and everything for me to go for the healing school. And when I said, God, yeah, whatever is his heart desire, grant it. That was just what I said, because I have already given up. And then when I came back from the program, I first started with shortage of blood. And I was like, wow, blood shorting again after all the healing, So I just told myself something by my faith. I just told myself, like I said, I'm tired of these things. I don't want to go through it again. I am not going for the blood transfusion. And they were like, you need blood transfusion to survive. I said, outside the blood transfusion, what is the next thing to do? They said, you need to take your drugs, take these so drugs. You need to eat this. I am not the eating type, and I had to force myself. I said, don't worry, I will work on that rather than transfusing that blood. I've said no to transfusing blood. And then I had to eat. My blood was as low as 10%. I had to put myself into eating, drinking drugs. At a certain time, the eating of the food, I was already getting tired of eating of the food. But I found out that with time, I was able to stand, move around. With all the things I was doing, I was able to move. And before you know it, I was moving. And I was more like, wow, so I can actually survive by working on myself this way.
Yeah.
Now, as an adult, I had to advise myself. Since then, what I do is, those things I was asked to eat them, I have to start working on them and eat them, follow them judicially, continuously. And then I stop having issues of maybe transfusion of bloods and all that. So the issues I now have, yes, the blood goes low. And I work on it, it comes back.
Okay. This is really emotional.
Yes,
It's
very,
touching,
very
honestly. But then let's move on. What should the family do to help a survivor, or who we can term a warrior?
Something about sickle cell anemia with family. Anyway, love is number one thing. Show them love. They need to be loved. And also, provide their medication. All the medications they need, you provide it. And also, give them attention. Listen to them. Most of the times when our parents go to the hospital and they tell you this person is going to die when this person does this or does this. And at the end of the day, they restrict you from doing a lot of things you want to do as a sickler. The most important thing is listen to them. What do they want and what do they want to be? Encourage them while you watch them and their health. Encourage them to be whatever they want to be. Take care of them. Show them love. Don't always be strict on them. I will have a lady that will call me and be like, my child is sickle, and all the time she likes playing. And she likes restricting, don't play, sit here. And when you do such things, it makes her go emotional. Makes her emotional, and she will now be, why can't I play like others? In as much you don't allow them to do strenuous things, just allow them to flow a bit. I believe that when I was free with myself, I was more even healthier than when they started restricting me from doing a lot of things. So the emotions depressed me more and make my challenges increase more. So most times just give them that freedom. Listen to them, what they want to do. Just let them be. Not, yes, there are some things they are not supposed to do, but just tell them what they are not supposed to do. Just let them know. But not making them look like, if you do this now, you're dying now, you're dying now.
Okay. Is there a way the government can come in, federal, state, can come in to make sure the lives of these warriors are prolonged?
Oh, yes. That is my most or utmost concern. That the government looks into us. Taking their medications are very expensive. Most times, some parents can't afford it and they leave you. They can't afford it. I know of a little child that goes around begging for money to just buy her drugs. The last time I went to check on her, because when I knew her I wasn't working then, I was still looking for a job. And I saw her, then she was begging for money to buy drugs. I gave her money and I took her address. So most of the time when I see her, I help her out. But recently, when I started working, I decided to go look for her in a way I can help her, especially when I started my foundation, only for me to hear she's dead.
Oh my.
Now, she died because she could not be taken care of. Her parents couldn't take care of her. Financial constraints. And you know, sometimes when these parents keep taking you to the hospital off and on, they get tired. In short, it gets worse when you've grown and you still keep being sick. I don't know why.
Yeah.
You're an adult now. You're still big. You're still sick. Always sick. They get tired. And going to the hospital, coming out, is not just small money. Sometimes you spend days, and when the bill comes, I remember one time when I was sick, I was admitted in FMC. Malaria accumulated so much in me. So they say it's plus. So I broke down. On admission in FMC, only that night I was asked to pay a huge sum of amount, and I was like, wow. By the time I finished my medication and I was out, I knew how much I spent. So you can imagine when people are having this crisis virtually, monthly, and some last for like 2 weeks. Some crises last for like 2-3 months. I've had a crisis consistently for 1 month. 1 straight month. I was just having that crisis every day. Take you to hospital, come back, take you to hospital, you know. So it's very, very expensive to manage a child that is a sickle cell. So if the government can help for free medications for people of sickle cell anemia, it would be very, very nice. Like they do to people with HIV. That's the kind of free medication I mean. You can always come here for free medication, take your drugs, and they check you. Such things would be very, very nice if the government can do that for people with that sickle cell anemia. Then secondly, job opportunities. When I was in school, I had the fear I wasn't going to work. I have the fear I wasn't going to get anywhere to work because I was like, who is going to take me to work? Who is going to employ me? You know, I had that fear. When I started moving on with school, I found out that my health challenges was reducing, you understand? And my look was changing because then, once you just look at me at a distance, you just know this girl is a sickler. I had that big tummy and that bony, little hands, you know. So, but when I started moving on, I found out even my looks is changing. So, even when I go for job interviews, the interviewer, I don't know I am sickler. So, the only way I found it difficult is when run tests. Once they say that test, my mind flies. I already know I'm losing the job. And yes, once I go and run that test, I'm disqualified. And I just get depressed. So once I get a job that is like tests, I know it's not going to work for me. They're not going to take me. Because they are always scared of the fact that this person is an SS. If I employ her now, how many days will she work in my office? She'll be half day sick and half day in the office. So it's a very big challenge. And I think that the government should do something. Why did I say they should do something? At least have a body that can be employing people of sickle cell anemia to have a job. Why did they need this job? They need this job to survive. If I am happy and looking this healthy and fine because I'm working, the job takes my stress and my challenges away. And the job also helped me when it comes in terms of relationship and you know you're sickler, you're not working. That guy just think of the fact that how much money I'm going to be spending to be taking this one to the hospital. But as I'm working, nobody should be thinking about that because I'm earning money to take care of myself, buy my drugs, go to the hospital and do everything like that. So it wouldn't be a problem when it comes to relationship too. And also, it will also take those stress of you seeing yourself as a different person. Because when you're working, you see yourself that you're just normal. You understand? You work, you earn your salary, you do what you want to do at the end of the day. You take care of yourself, you take the drugs you're supposed to take. As I'm working, I have to tell you that more than half of my salary goes to drugs and food. So you can see if I am not working, how would it cope? So you see, if I'm not working, I end up looking sick because I don't take those things that I'm supposed to take. And you know, it won't be easy. Your parents, after training you from childhood up, and then you're an adult, they still end up spending money taking you to the hospital, medicating, feeding, and taking care of everything the whole of your life. It's not easy.
All right, Josephine Osondo, it's been so nice. I'm proud talking with you. It's been so nice having you on this program today. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's important to note that the wife of the governor is actually doing much in this regard, because we had a guest last week on this program and she talked about sickle cell anemia too. She said at Vicar Hope Foundation the tests are cheaper, health services rendered quite affordable. Some of the drugs, some of the medications are given out free of charge to sickle cell patients. And well, I believe and hope that with your request that you have made on this program today, that the government will take it a notch higher than what they are doing now, what the wife of the governor is doing.
Yes.
And so I'd like to thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
I want to appreciate you. You're a great woman.
Thank you very much.
Tidbits from the office of the Abia First Lady. The wife of the president, Hajia Aisha Buhari, in collaboration with the Stop TB Partnership Nigeria, has nominated the First Lady of Abia State, Digness Nkechi Ikpeazu, as tuberculosis champion and ambassador. Hajia Aisha Buhari attributed her choice of Mrs. Nkechi Ikpeazu as TB champion to her sense of responsibility and commitment to ensuring the health and well-being of our people. Hajia Buhari is the global ambassador for tuberculosis. The International Youth Day 2019 was observed globally on the 12th of August with the theme Transforming Education, with the focus on efforts to make education more relevant, equitable and inclusive for all youth, including efforts by youth themselves. Abia State was not left out. Yesterday, at the Vicar Hope Foundation Youth Center, 15 young people in Abia who indicated interest converged to learn about advocacy and how to develop good advocacy plans. They also played games such as chess, Monopoly, Scrabble, and more. It was a youth hangout in observance of the event.
Voices.
There are a lot of teachings about our children, about ourselves, and about our husbands, how to keep our homes to be in order, how to be peaceful with our neighbors, our children.
Longest meeting we have Haruru. I am what I ought to see him. You can buy a mail or to lecture. I could tell her here in our sponsor. I am a better. I'm going to in a Butoria, what I see. August meeting, I will tag in here, Basara, if I show you up,
Life comes once you have to live it as best as you can. Remember, the deadly illness sickle cell can be stopped if you know your genotype and avoid having a child with someone who is not compatible.
HIV is real and it's very much around. Be safe.
Constantly watch out for illnesses like diabetes and cancer.
Our children are the future. We must educate them and protect them from all sorts of abuse.
Your environment is important. Always keep it clean. We are Vicar Hope Foundation. We believe that working together, we can improve our society. At Vicar Hope Foundation, we provide houses for the indigent and empower people with skills and equipment. We care about health, environment, education, and enhance the moral values of our people. Support us today at Vicar Hope Foundation. We are your partners in making the world a better place. Vicar Hope Foundation. Hope for all.
It is at this point that we pull the brakes on this week's edition of the program Half Hour of Hope, as packaged by the media team. I am Chinezerem Abakuru, asking you to join us again, same time, same station, next week.